this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back in the car again. 10:07 a.m. Kind of a late start for me. 42 degrees outside. We even had a warning of frost later tonight. Yep, it's getting cold out there. So you might wonder, did I finish the review that I said I was going to do? Yeah, I finished it. I finished it late last night. That's why I got a late start today. Well, I actually finished it in the afternoon, but then I had to edit it, and then I had to upload it. Then I found some things that I had to take out of it. Then I had to re-edit it. I had to re-upload it. Yeah, it's already been approved by the company. I knew it probably would be. So they told me to release it on Monday. So you will see it on the Russ is Right channel on Monday at 6 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. It's a product. Yeah, it's not an e-bike review. But being that it's a product, I had to do a lot of close-up type of shooting, and I found that the DJI Action 5 Pro camera that I use to record this video with, and also my e-bike rides with, yeah, minimal focus distance for this lens can't handle that kind of product. Yeah. Yeah, everything comes out of focus. So the only way to become in focus, you have to have a certain distance from the camera to the subject that you're shooting. This is not unusual. I've had this happen even on my very expensive camera lenses, when I was shooting photography things. So I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? So the only way to shoot it was with my iPhone. Yeah. So I set up my iPhone for 4K, 30 frames per second. Shot it with that. Now, as far as the audio is concerned, I still use this microphone, but because of the fact that I bought the DJI Mic 2 with two microphones and a receiving unit too, I was able to plug the receiver portion into the iPhone. So this thing Bluetooth directly to that receiver, which then connected directly to the iPhone. That's how we got the audio out of it. I've never had to use it that way before. I know I've tried it because, when you buy something new, you have to try all the features. But I've never had to use it for anything. Well, this time I did. So I'm glad I had that. At least I felt like I got something out of using the receiver, because usually the receiver, I don't need that. When I switched over to the DJI Action 5 Pro camera, this thing Bluetooths directly to this camera. So you don't need the receiver section, it's automatic. So for people who buy this camera and want a wireless mic like this, whether it's this one or some of the other versions that they have, you don't need the expensive one. All you need is this. You don't need the receiver because the camera accepts it. Now, if you use other brands of cameras, then you'll need that receiver, right? So anyway, that's done. The only thing I had to change is I did have a verbal mistake. Russ is always right. Told you guys, I don't make mistakes. Of the retail price the sale price of the item, I was off by $5. So they pointed that out and says, could you make that correction? So I'll do that correction today. That's an easy thing to do. It's just a quick voiceover of a dollar amount. But whenever that happens, that means re-editing the video again, re-uploading again. So every little thing like this takes time, right? Now, most of the videos I make, as you know, I don't edit hardly anything. And I produce them pretty quickly, but this product is taking a little bit longer. First off, because I was sick. Secondly, because little errors here and there like that you have to correct requires you to make that change, right? I mean, it's not something I could just leave because the price is wrong. Yeah, so I have to make that correction and then I will redo it. So it just adds to the time, Luckily, there's not too many other things going on. I still have to do the e-trike review. Yeah, and I'm looking at the weather, and it's not going to get any better than 51 degrees. And that's at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I don't do videos that late. So yeah, I'll probably be doing in the upper 40s when I do that review. So it's getting cold. Now, here's the funny part about all this stuff, right? Bike companies continue to keep sending me solicitations to review their bikes. Now, I've already counted, and I've mentioned this many times now, but as of today, I've turned down 171 e-bike companies. Now, that's not like individual bikes, that's companies, all right? Different companies, all right? I've accepted some companies, but I've turned down 171, and that really shocks most people because they can't believe there's that many e-bike companies. Well, there are. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And many of them nobody's ever heard of before, including me. I look at their websites, I look at their product offerings, and then I make decisions. Do I take it in or do I not take it in? Well, this company today that sent a request to me is a known company. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, 2 companies recently that are fairly well known contacted me. And for various reasons, I've decided not to take them on, which I think most people who review e-bikes would say, really? You turned them down? Well, here's the thing. One of them is an extremely fast bike, okay? One of them's an extremely fast bike. But in our area, they're cracking down so much now with speed and wattages and everything. I don't need to bring more attention to this area. I mean, would they stop me if I did? I don't know. Nobody really knows, right? But if I bring certain brands in and I ride it around, it probably will grab attention. Now, will the police officers know which brands are which? Probably not. But the thing is, if the bike looks like, okay, this one's going to be kind of fast, I think they would have a suspicion, right? I don't know if I should really do that. So, yeah, I turned that one down. Man, this guy's really slow. I got to move. Then, the brand today is another brand that people have heard of, But here's the problem with that one too. I mean, they're not quite as fast, all right? But they do exceed the maximum wattage that's allowed in our area. I think all the bikes actually exceed the maximum wattage, so I'm not so concerned about that. But again, the looks of the bike, not all their bikes, but the looks of the bike is a little aggressive looking, right? So that has that going for it. And then the other thing is, it's getting really cold out. By the time they get me the bike and put it together and everything, I'll be riding it like 40 degrees. I don't ride at 40 degrees. I mean, and it's a new model too. They mentioned this is a new model that they're coming out with, and so they're looking for new people to connect up with. And they've never done it with me before, so they want to do it. I think what I'm going to do for them is I'm going to send them back a response and think, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm pretty much hanging it up for the rest of the year. I can't review a bike when it's really cold. I just don't enjoy doing it. And in our area too, we get snow and things. I mean, not yet, but we will. I mean, how much can I actually ride this thing, to help promote them as they would hope? I can't do it. I have to move over here. So I'm just going to tell them, hey, look, thank you, but let's revisit this in the spring, late spring. And if they're still interested, you contact me then. If you're not interested, then oh well, I've had companies before that have done this, and I've just said, hey, I can't do it now. And I pushed them off, and they'll come back, later, and they'll say, hey, is it time for you to do it now? Yeah. So, yeah, that's how it works sometimes, right? I'll give you an example. King Bull, right? King Bull brand. I pushed them off. I said, it's still cold here. I can't do this. I pushed them off, and then I pushed them off, and I pushed them off, and then, they just kind of kept coming after me and just said, are you ready yet? And can you do this now? And I have to say this about them. They were, what would you say that? They're tenacious. They didn't give up. Yeah, they kept wanting me to do it. And so I did it. And then, on the very first day of the review that came out, somebody ordered a bike and they says, hey, things are happening. Would you like to take another bike? Well, at that time, it would be okay because, I've already started reviewing bikes. I says, yeah, sure, okay. Here, send me this one. And then they sent it to me. So that's how some things work. But it feels bad when you have to say no and when you have to actually say no for specific reasons. And those are reasons beyond my control. It's not like I don't want something more powerful or anything. It's just that we're getting really tough in our area for me to do this. So I'm just glad that they don't ban us altogether in our area. Which some neighboring villages, which are the surrounding suburbs around us, some of them have actually outright banned the e-bikes. I'm glad my area hasn't done that. So, but again, like I said, I don't need to bring additional attention to it, to do a good job showing, the abilities of these bikes. I do have to ride them a little bit quicker because that's what they're kind of known for, right? So yeah, it's a tough battle to turn down stuff like that because you have the internal struggle. Somebody took my spot, but I'll take the spot next to them. You have that internal struggle because it's like, yeah, I would really like to do it. Can't do it. So this is going to be a problem, I know, going forward for the Russ is Right channel, at least. More from Russ, hey, we do whatever we want. Russ is Right, another story. Anyways, I am here. I will do my thing. And then for the rest of the day, I'll just hang around in the house and feel sorry for myself. All right, anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you would do. Would you say, too bad, I'm just going to do it anyways, and who cares about what the law is in the area? Or would you be like me and just kind of think twice before accepting some of these things? So, the thing is, you try to do the right thing, right? You want to do the right thing for your viewers, but you also need to do the right thing for the laws in your area. So let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys next time. Hit the like and subscribe button.